Good afternoon, everyone. Sharice Jervis Hill here, president and founder of Events to Remember and PR to Remember, with our Coffee with Cher podcast session, as I like to call them, because I feel like these are like informational sessions for you guys and girls. All right, so today we have a nice treat. We have Rachel Sanders here. She is the CEO and founder of Rootine. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Welcome to Coffee with Cher.
Hi, so excited to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you here. So, Rachel, I always like to start with a little cheers. So, I have coffee in my mug, nothing too exciting this afternoon. What about you? Coffee or are you hydrating?
Coffee.
Yeah, I run on coffee. So, thanks for being here. Rachel's coming to us from Nashville, right? Is that correct?
Yep, in Nashville.
All right, Nashville. Love it. All right, so Rachel, tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started. Tell us about Root.
Yeah, excited to share more. So I am someone who grew up in a household where holistic health was really everything. So I was looking at what I was doing across nutrition, supplementation, lifestyle back more years ago than I'd like to admit.
Mhm.
But it was definitely before it was popular. My mom was seeing naturopaths back 40 plus years ago in Boulder. So
Mhm.
it really was ingrained in my DNA. And I lost that a little bit when I went to college, as a lot of people do, kind of
Yeah.
did my thing, didn't really pay attention to my health quite as much. And then I started my career, and early in my career, early in my 20s, I was working a lot. So I was working in finance,
Mhm.
100+ hour weeks, not sleeping, and my body just really broke down. So I was
Mhm.
dealing with stress and burnout way before you're supposed to. Your 20s, your early 20s, you're not supposed to feel like that.
Exactly.
But but yeah, I went back to the supplement aisle and kind of went back to my roots. And I was
Mhm.
really surprised to see that there was very little innovation when it came to supplementation and just holistic health in general. We
Mhm.
were doing all sorts of amazing innovation and technology advancements on the healthcare side of things. So once
Mhm.
people got sick, there was all of this new stuff coming down the pipeline to really help people improve their experience with healthcare, but also just improve patient outcomes overall. And
Mhm.
that was really my light bulb moment where I said, I'm working deep in the healthcare tech, healthcare service industry, seeing all this innovation come down. Why can't we apply the science, the technology, the data science to holistic health to help
Mhm.
people prevent the illness before they
Yeah.
have to go through all of this?
Mhm.
And was kind of in the process of getting my MBA. And after my MBA, I launched Routine, really with this idea to build smarter health solutions for your most vibrant health,
Mhm.
starting with supplementation and at-home lab testing. And so we launched Routine about 5 years ago. We've
Mhm.
had a lot of success across multiple products, but
Mhm.
in terms of what we're really doing today is we're looking at how can we solve this wellness crisis that we're seeing for millennial and Gen X women? So, women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, we're seeing are just crazy stressed. They
Mhm.
are overwhelmed. They are not sleeping well. And this is leading to all sorts of daily symptoms, whether it's fatigue, trouble losing weight, hormonal imbalance,
Mhm.
and just stuff we don't want to be dealing with, right?
Yeah.
And we recently launched our newest product line, which are functional drink mixes for sleep, stress, and focus, which are some of the top three problems that people in this segment are dealing with. And
Mhm.
what's really special about these products is that we built them to work instantly. So you're going to feel the effects within 20 minutes versus other products in the market, which maybe you have to take for a month or 2 months to see any sort of change. Look, I'm a woman in my 30s. I
Mhm.
don't have time to wait a month. Like, I want to feel better now, and I
20
want to be
minutes
able
is
to do.
amazing, Rachel.
Yeah.
Like, what is in that stuff?
uh,
Sign me up, girl. I need a sample of this stuff.
I know. Let's get you some samples. Yeah, so they're all multi-adaptogen powders. They're clinician formulated, and
Mhm.
they're have potent dosages so
Mhm.
that you're really getting those effects. So with the stress, you're feeling calmer. It's got stuff like ashwagandha and rhodiola to help bring your body back into balance faster.
Mhm.
Sleep, we actually formulated to be melatonin free because there's all sorts of problems with melatonin. There's also people who just don't tolerate melatonin. I'm one
Yeah.
of those people. It does the
Mhm.
opposite of help me sleep.
Yeah.
Um, But we created all of these products with multiple different adaptogens, so that it really helps people feel a difference quickly.
I love that. And the 20 minutes, that's amazing. Sometimes you just need that boost, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I love that. Um, so I mean, I could just think of just the quickness, the 20 minutes, right? That's one of the things that sets you apart. But tell us a little bit about what sets you apart from others that are kind of in your space, in your industry.
Yeah. Well, what's really surprising is this mood and mind health market in the supplement space. It's a $24 billion market, but there's no one that's really addressing the unique concerns of this woman that we're talking about. So the women in
Mhm.
their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they're working, maybe they have families, they've got mounting responsibilities, and they have disposable income to
Mhm.
really solve these problems that they're going after, but no one's talking to them, no one's building for them. We see
Mhm.
some really big competitors, but it's like a male performance brand, or
Mhm.
it's a Gen Z brand. It's like TikTok pretty is what I like to say.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not focused as much on the efficacy, but they're more focused on what the brand actually looks like. And so what's unique about us is the product form factor, the fact that it's clinician formulated, that we're really leaning into the efficacy side, but we're combining kind of the efficacy and science of what you see on more brands that like a clinician would recommend,
Mhm.
with accessibility. So the price point's accessible. We're building omni-channel, which means you're going to be finding us on retail shelves. You can find us on Amazon. You can find us on our D2C site.
Mhm.
But everything we're doing is truly unique. It's truly functional, and it's
Mhm.
truly designed for this woman in mind.
It's the year of the woman. That's what I say. Love it. Okay, so we're, which is unbelievable, kind of heading towards the end of the year. I can't even believe that I'm saying this. But yeah, this year like flew by. Anything new that's happening? I mean, I know you have a lot going on with routine, but anything special, any nuggets that you want to share that's kind of happening right
I
now,
know.
now towards the
I
end of the year?
I can't believe it's coming to the end of the year. So a lot of 2024 for us is all about the launch of these functional drink mixes that we're so proud of.
Mhm.
And we're doing a lot of scaling. So that for us looks like getting into additional retail doors, having
Mhm.
additional retail conversations, scaling our Amazon business.
Mhm.
We're not launching anything new in 2024, but it's really about scaling what we've done.
Mhm.
And then on the kind of personal side of things, in part through routine, I've built up my own thought leadership and personal brand, got
Mhm.
about 100,000 followers across social and my newsletter. And so I'm doing a lot of fun projects there that should be coming in the fall.
Well, you are a rock star. I'm so excited to have you on with us. Like such great things happening. I love it. Um, in your experience, this is my favorite question. I want you to share some of that rock star stuff that you have going on with a new entrepreneur or someone who's been in business for a while and needs that push, needs some advice. Rachel, what advice would you share? Because you're definitely rocking it out. Like, what would you share? What kind of advice?
I think it definitely breaks down into two different categories. So someone
Mhm.
that is new, the
Mhm.
advice is going to be different from the someone who maybe has been at it, but is going through a rough time. So I'll start with the someone new.
Okay.
The biggest thing that I always say is just start. One of the top things that I hear from wannabe entrepreneurs is they're like, I have this idea, but I don't know where to start.
Mhm.
I get it. It's overwhelming. There's a lot. You can start to see the vision 3 years down the road and you want to build this big, big thing. Yes, build the big, big thing, but think about what's the first step that you need to do. Is it that you need to come up with a name so that you can move forward? Is it that you
Mhm.
need a logo so you can move forward?
Mhm.
By the way, names, logos, branding, everything will change.
Yes.
So like pick something and move on, but figure out what that thing is that maybe is blocking you.
Mhm.
Get rid of that blocker and then just go. One of the best examples I like to give here is actually building out my personal brand. So I thought about becoming a thought leader, showing up more online for a year before I did it.
Mhm.
And my biggest blocker, funny enough, was I didn't have professional photos that I wanted to share online. And so it didn't feel like I could be taken seriously
Mhm.
as a thought leader, as a founder online without those photos. In
Mhm.
hindsight, pretty ridiculous blocker, but that
Mhm.
was my blocker. And so I said, okay, the one thing that I need to do to get past this blocker let's just get some photos taken. So I booked it. I figured out what outfits I was going to wear. I had my makeup done and I did it. And then after that, like off to the races. And so what is that one thing that you keep coming back to? Well, I don't have this. I don't have this. I don't have this. Just go figure that out because you can just keep putting one step in front of the other there.
Yeah.
And with that, which I think is the same as decisions, just make the decision and move on. So if you're like, I don't know what to do, just make a decision and go, because the likelihood is you either made the right decision or the wrong decision. If you made the wrong decision, you can fix it. And just go back and change it. It's the wrong colors, the wrong this, the wrong that. Just go back and fix it after you've already started.
And change is going to happen, you know, like
Exactly.
you said. So it's just know that going in, right?
Exactly.
Get started. Change is going to happen. So,
yeah, we've gone through 3 or 4 rebrands at Routine, changed our messaging, changed our visual identity, changed our colors, updated our products, changed our packaging. Every brand does that, whether you're a service business or a product business or a B2B business. It all evolves. And so just start somewhere is the biggest piece of advice.
I think the word that you said, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think the word that you said that is magical is evolve, because it all will evolve. I've had my business for 20 years and we're still constantly reinventing ourselves. So yes, evolve that's the key word for this conversation. Okay, continue.
And times change, markets change, the world changes. And so you're going to have to evolve with that too. So even if you don't want to change, you're going to change.
Yes. Amen.
And then to the folks that have maybe been at this for a little while, they're going through a rough patch. I've been there. Every entrepreneur goes through it. The ups and the downs are real. One of the things that I do, let's see, there's 3 things that I do when I'm going through a rough patch or feel like everything is falling apart. The first thing that I do is I go back and look at the data. So what data can you find on your company, whether it's sales data, customer reviews, who's visiting your website, just like things that are facts, because that grounds you in what's going on. Also, every single time I look at numbers, whether it's P&L, the balance sheet, our like website, orders, whatever numbers it is, I start to see things that I didn't maybe think about or like weren't going through my head, and I start to get new ideas. So that's one thing that's really, really helpful for me whenever that period of time is happening. Another thing that I do is I get out of my own head and go listen to other entrepreneurs, see what they're saying. This podcast is a great example. I love listening to podcasts, hearing entrepreneur stories. I'll Google YouTube videos. What are other people going through? Because you can learn so much from their own journeys, from their stories. There's also like Intro is a great website where you can connect with other founders. Just get out of your own head and hear other perspectives. That's really helpful. And then the third that I'm super passionate about is making sure that you are taking care of yourself. So this, in my opinion, this world of like hustle at all costs, like girl bossing, it's over. You can't work 100-hour weeks and like be productive, show up as your best self at work or at home if you have a family or with your partner. You have to take care of yourself. And so figuring out those wellness routines, what are you doing for movement? Are you paying attention to your nutrition? Because that matters. Getting the right nutrients matters when it comes to your brain health, when it comes to being able to be creative. And then also really just focusing on any sort of like self-care mental practice. So that doesn't need to be, you don't have to be meditating for 20 minutes every single day, but maybe you're doing a physiological sigh and like taking like 30 seconds to breathe in the middle of the day. But like, what are those pieces? I'm a huge fan of walking meditation, where I take a lot of my walks. I will listen to podcasts and music occasionally, but a lot of my walks are silent. And so I just like take my dog, I walk for 30 minutes and just like think through things. Walking is incredible for boosting brain activity, solving complex problems. And then it's also my type A personality that like doesn't want to sit still for 20 minutes, but it does help overall get through those challenges or problems.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. Such great nuggets you dropped. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so lastly, tell everybody where they can find you so they can check out these supplements and all the good stuff that you're doing. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find Routine at rootine.co. You can
Okay.
also find us on Amazon. That's a great place. You get Prime first day, second day shipping, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also find us on social at routine_co. And to learn more about me, you can find me on Instagram or LinkedIn. My Instagram is Rachel Soap Sanders, and also have a website that's rachelsopersanders.com to learn more about everything I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing all the nuggets. So great to chat with you, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, thanks so much. This is great.
Awesome. Thank you.